out, she had thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Should be good.
And it
We're
was
just a
rented
little
out, so she couldn't give it out. But she just wants a couple of good days, which opening day was good. We had really high numbers. The amount of kids that have come back now that we have the new features, the numbers are growing.
Powered by DeWalt batteries.
It's very
Yeah,
exciting.
next
And it was just by
No.
3
Friday night?
Saturdays.
She was happy.
Friday night.
We got those cooling towels, you just get a wet on them.
Yeah, we have Out of Favor Boys
Oh.
for the blues.
I can only afford some.
Well,
They're good.
Stanley and his band were really excited
No,
with
that-
We
A
were-
being the opening band for the summer. And he just.
Pike Lake's going really good.
We had
Center,
so
we're
much
having some trouble
positive
because
feedback
there's no
from them.
restrooms at the
People
pavilion
want
right
them to
now.
come
Good,
back.
he said, will you let me know and
They
we
were
can sign up
5:15.
again for next year? And I said, oh, I'm sure they'll let you know.
Yeah, no, they did really well.
We'll call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is the approval of the May minutes. Everybody had a chance to read them.
I've read them, I move that we approve the minutes.
A motion to approve, need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Unfinished business, update on pavilion.
Yeah, we just had our construction meeting again today, and we've attached a few pictures here. The first picture there shows the wall color in the hallway and the upstairs door. The second one shows the outside siding, stone and soffit that's being done around the building. The third one shows the showroom divider that's been installed. They have that installed and they ran it down once, but they don't have the electric installed for that yet, so we can't run it up and down and actually see it work yet, but it's soon to be working. Number 4 shows some of the ceiling work, and you can see the round circle lights there. They really look good. I mean, we were down there today, and it really shows some sharpness to that ceiling effect. So the kitchen stone in the next one, you can kind of see the kitchen back in there and the stonework around there, and then the bathroom tile on the walls, and then on the back we've got kind of looking as you're coming in the front door. If you go left or right, that's to the restrooms, and then you have the coat racks, and then into the main room. And you can, as you can see, all the way through the lake there. So the next 3-week schedule calls for the roofing, paint and trim work still, flooring, ceiling installation, and water meter and electric meter. So things are moving right along down there. So we had thought that maybe the Indiana American Water was going to hold us up a little bit, but we're hoping that that has been resolved and we can get that done. And we're looking at the electrical, NIPSCO coming, they thought next week to install the meter base. So I think we're still on track for mid-August, mid to late August, somewhere in there still. So.
Questions, comments? Okay. New business, park budgets, here we go.
Here we go. 2024 is upon us. We'll start with the 2204 budget. If you want to go to the explanatory sheet, that's probably the best way to follow it. We'll start with personal services. We've been asked to reflect a 3% increase there, so I did that for all the full-time employees and salaried employees. We've been asked to do a 10% increase as advised for our insurance. And then the perf, we know it's going to be 11.2% halfway through the year, and then we just were informed to put 13% for the other half of the year. And then other personal service, that's our cell phone stipend, that remains the same. So we're looking at a 3% increase there. Total personal services is $1,877,500. Any questions on personal services? All right, we'll move on to supplies. Office supplies, we're keeping that the same, 0% increase. Operating supplies, these are the supplies needed for operations, to our, I should say 19 parks there. I have 18 in there. I forgot we added one, but one of the things that we're finding is all of our supplies costs are going way up. Plus we have the Castalti fountain now, and We had a $5,000 credit for some of the work done down there that we're using for salt now, but as we're looking, it's going to cost about $5,000 to $6,000 a year for salt to run that through the whole season. We're having very good luck with it. Before, we had a filtering system that just did not get the rust out and keep the rust out, so we went to a salt brine tanks. There's 2 huge brine tanks in there that we put salt in, and it seems to be doing a fabulous job there. Working. So that's some of it, the cost increase there. Downtown streetscapes, of course, and then our recreation activities includes the aquatic skate park operation supplies. So a 7% increase, $10,000 over last year, and like I said, about 5 to 6 of that is the salt, and the rest is just rising prices that we're seeing on lumber, screws, nuts, bolts, just all the stuff, paint, fertilizer, yes, all that stuff. So, repair and maintenance, kind of the same thing. I mean, just everything that we're going to fix, whether it's pumps on the trucks or it's brakes or it's whatever, the Greenway trail boards. Again, we're seeing supply costs, so we put an 8% increase on that, another $10,000 on repair and maintenance supplies. Other supplies, so we put this snow removal meal in there for $300. Thank God we haven't had to use that for the last several years, but it's there. You never know when Indiana's going to get dropped on, so we'll have that in there. But so a increase of about 8%, $20,000 over last year. $279,300 for total supplies. Any questions on that? All right, we'll move to other services and charges. Professional services. We have an increase in here, and that's due to the monitoring service for the fire and alarm systems and service agreements for the HVAC and the water heaters and suppliers at not only our new office, but the Center Lake Pavilion. We're going to have monitoring services, kind of like we do at Pete Thorne Center for our fire alarms and our heads and testing and things of that sort. So that's why the increase there. Lake Association is still the same. Tree and service shrubs, everything else in there has stayed the same that we have this year. So the 14%, or about $11,600, is due to the increased alarm system and monitoring and HVAC contracts and service contracts, and the same thing with the water, on-demand water heaters. And then there's your fertilizer cost in there as well, Dan. So 14%, $11,600 increase in professional services. Communication and transportation, that remains the same. That is our iPads and things like that to Verizon. Printing and advertising, no increase there. We feel that we're doing a good job getting everything out on the stuff we do print. We try to do everything as much digital or through social media that we can. But so we've held that number for a couple of years here, and we feel we can do it again next year. Insurance, we've been instructed to do a 5% increase there, so that took it up to $51,000. Utility service, we've got several new things coming on. We have the Center Lake Recreational Trail. We've got, of course, the Nye Park there and the fountain. We just have at the campground, we have new meters out there and everything. So we put $24,000 into there. We've just seen increases in that. Gas supply has been up. So we feel we haven't raised that for a couple of years, and we feel it's time that we're getting close to the line where we're not comfortable if we're going to have enough or not. So we would rather put that in there, and if we don't use it, put it in as a line cut at the end of the year. But repairs and maintenance, pretty much the same for buildings and structures, pest control, suppression system, and that's the Pete Thorne, the contract for Central Park, stage hands, asphalt sealing and striping of the basketball courts. This is the big one in there. That's $80,000. It's been a good 20 years since we redid the courts at Boggs. I don't know if you've been out there. We've had some hydraulic pressure that happened 3 or 4 years ago, and they're really deteriorating in bad shape. Those are some of our mainstay courts in the town. A lot of the employees in the industrial park out there use them, first, second, third shifts, around the clock. So that's something I'd really like to bring those courts back up to standards there. So I got a ballpark estimate from contractors of about $80,000 to take the west fence down, re-asphalt it, stripe it, seal it, stripe it, and put the fence back up. It was about $80,000 to do that. Continue with the block repairs at Central Park, and then the other thing that's in here is the fence replacement at Kelly Park Courts. The west side and the south side of that, the west side, the poles, I mean, we get a good wind, and they just, with that windscreen on there, it just takes them right over. And we went out there 3 or 4 times to reset them. We would like to get, stronger, deeper poles put in there to allow that windscreen to still be on there, and possibly even get the windscreen in the fence so we don't have to go out there and replace the grommets all the time. We get 3 or 4 times a year, we're out there, the winds have came through and tore all the ties or grommets out, and we've got to fix that. So that's something we would like to look at fixing out there. So there's the increase, is basically due to the bogs and the Kelly Park repairs there. So it's 26% increase, or $42,000 over last year, for a total of $202,300. Rentals, porta pots are going up. We were locked in. We've paid the same amount on the porta pots for the last about 10 years. We've been notified that they're not even making a profit on us. So next year they are going to go up. They are going to raise our rates. So I thanked them for the 10 years that we
Yeah.
got that rate.
Yeah.
But that is going to go up, and we just find the uniforms, of course. We had a new contract with Wildman's, and our uniforms went up some. So 7% increase, about $2,000 there. Other services and charges. The only thing we changed in this category, we added another $5,000 increase to the entertainment. As Stephanie can attest to this, I don't know if $5,000 is really going to impact the amount of, or the quality of entertainment that we're going to be able to get, but it might keep us in the ballpark of what we're getting now. As sound and lights and, hotel rooms and things of that sort go up, the cost of bands have just been outrageous since COVID. So we're trying to hang on to this. We hope that we have a great blues and barbecue event coming up, and then of course the country event. When the year's over, we're going to evaluate all 3 concerts and really look hard at that. If all 3 of them are a success, we're going to try to do that again. But if not, we may have to whittle down to 2 concerts a year or something like that. But so that's why that $5,000 or 5% increase is in there. So the total other services and charges is $684,900, and that's increased. So really, the whole increases to the total other services and charges again is the alarm monitoring in the new office and the pavilion, insurance, utilities, and repairs at the Boggs Court, and the entertainment costs. So it's 15%, or $87,100 is the change there. Capital outlays. We're looking at a new pickup truck and plow, replacing a 2014 truck and plow. This is in our 10-year maintenance replacement plan. Bench replacement at Bixler Park. Now that we have the work going to start on the Center Lake Recreational Trail along the beach there, we have benches also in Bixler that are deteriorating, so we would like to replace those along kind of the same style that the recreational trail does. So we thought that would be a good time. Instead of doing a playground equipment, we would do bench replacement at Bixler Park and kind of keep our budget intact, not so much of a large percentage increase. So upgrade to the Bobcat, that's our yearly thing. Riding mowers, our 4-year replacement plan and our maintenance seems to be worked well for many, many years. Same thing with weed eaters, and then of course our skate park replacement rancid equipment. We're actually down 12% decrease to that, to $123,000, and that's due to no playground replacement. We're going to do bench replacement instead. So instead of the $60,000 to $70,000 mark, we're going to be at the 22 there. So the total proposed budget, I have that wrong there, 22. That should be 24. That's a typo right there. 24 budget. It's $2,964,700. This reflects a 3% increase above the 2023 approved budgets after the line one cuts. So after the line one cuts were taken out and our actual approved budget, this is a 3% increase over that. So we've tried to hold the line the best we can and still provide the safety and the amenities to the public. So any questions on that budget?
Do you think people would donate benches?
Pardon me, I didn't hear.
Do you think people would donate the cost of a bench to have their name put on it at Bixler?
Well, the style that we have aren't set up to have that on there. They're more of a flat, dual-sided bench, whereas like we did at Buyer Park, that was a recycled bench with the ability to put nameplates in there, but, you know, something we can certainly entertain and look at, but, yeah.
What does a bench like that ballpark cost?
Somewhere around $2,000-3,000 for the equipment and the
Yeah.
installation, concrete and stuff, so, yeah.
Any more questions, comments?
I just want to say congratulations for holding that line. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And,
Okay.
you know, it's due to you guys doing so much of the work in-house. It really is.
It really is.
We got talented people and they care and they do a quality job.
Yes,
And we need to approve the 2024 budget.
if you would.
Every time I go to the grocery store, it's 50%.
I'd make a motion to approve the budget as presented. I think it's amazing to keep it at 3% even after the
Yeah.
line one cuts, considering what, everything has gone up.
Yeah.
Especially, like you said, Larry, supplies and lumber, and it's, I think it's a credit to you and your staff to keep it at just 3%. Make that motion.
We have a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the 2020, or 2204 budget. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to the 2024 non-reverting recreation budget, the 2211. Of course, this is program fees that we charge, and it goes into the non-reverting fund, so we can use it for operating and advertising and things in our budget. So as you can see here, our operating supplies, we've got that at $13,250, and our printing and advertising and other services and charges, that's $10,100. This is a 0% increase. Stephanie and I have talked about this, and we feel that, you know, with the fees coming in, this is adequate. We can provide again, and we still have some of the money left over from the, I'm going to get it wrong, is it ARPA? ARPA funds that will benefit us next year as well. So with that being considered, we'll hold the line on this. There is a current balance of $45,000 in this non-reverting account, so it's about half of what's there now. And of course, all the funds that we charge from here on out will go into that budget, or that fund as well. So it will be higher than the $45,000 by the time we dip into it with this budget. So I feel really good about that. We're still leaving 50% in there and using about 50% of it. So.
Okay. Questions, comments? Need a motion to approve the 2211 budget?
So move.
Have a motion, need
If
a
I don't
second?
die first from the cottonwood and everything else.
That's second that motion.
A motion and a second to approve the 2211 budget. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Okay.
Okay, the next budget is the 4403. This is a non-reverting capital fund from the firemen's building, the Nye cabin, and the kayak kiosks and paddleboard kiosks. We're looking to do window or blind replacement and guttering at the firemen's building and the Nye cabin, so we put that in there. And then the equipment, costs related to replacement of the equipment of the kayak lockers, $5,000. And then we're looking at appliances, water heaters, possible tables and chair replacement and stuff, $20,000 in there. So total of $45,000. There is $111,036 in that fund right now. So again, it's well under, it's about, what, 40% somewhere in there that we're using out of that. So there again, if we don't use this, it just stays in there and we'll have it for next year's budget, so.
I'm sorry, was that for the Nye cabin?
Nye and firemen's, yeah. Wherever it's needed, Larry.
Any more questions, comments? Need a motion to approve the 4403 budget?
I think that was Jill making a motion. right there.
I move.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the 4403. Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
All right, appreciate that.
thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Next up, maintenance report.
Yes, Rarick Park Playground and the engineered wood fiber are fully installed over at Rarick. The playground are open to the public and we've had some use over there. I took a video the other day, showed Larry, there's 5 or 6 kids on our cone spinner all at the same time, climbing on it, spinning around, having a good time, and it's kind of fun to see over there. So that part's done. We have a little bit of concrete work to do. We have a sidewalk. We have some footers for ornamental lighting and a couple pads for trash cans to pour concrete over there. We're scheduled to do that Thursday morning. I've been in contact with NIPSCO to get a power supply over there for the ornamental lights. They said they would meet with me over there within the next week. So hopefully within a couple of weeks, we'll be wrapping up pretty close over there. We'll have all of our landscaping done, the grass seed planted, and everything. So shortly after that, hopefully we'll be able to do ribbon cutting, assuming the court guy gets there. And then moving on from there, we've fully gone through all of our irrigation systems in the park. With all the hot, dry weather we've had, we've really been fighting to try to keep up with keeping the grass growing. Spent a lot of time at all of our systems and everything's working well. Central Park, those of you who came to the concert, I think you see that it was looking pretty good.
Does that
There.
water come out of the lake?
It does, it draws straight from the lake there, yep.
For that one, the Kitty Land is on city water, and then Rotary is on city, but everything else comes out of the lake.
Yep.
We do have the ability to switch it over to city water if they would treat the lake, but it gets very expensive
Yes.
real fast. So, yeah, we're fortunate to be able to draw from the lake and irrigate all that, for sure.
We've moved our maintenance staff over to the new shop, and we're working out of there now. We still have a few minor things to clean up in the move, but the guys are loving it. It's really, really nice and convenient to be able to work out of that shop, and it's really been nice, I think, for Larry and I to be in the same building as the maintenance staff. We've kind of solved that disconnect problem with them, and we get to communicate with them throughout the day, all day. I think it's really been beneficial just in the short time we've already been there. So we have a couple more things to wrap up on that, but we'll be fully moved over. Also, on a personal note, Larry kind of set it up, but Jacob Mackey family donated the Butterfly Way Station over on Buffalo Street. I don't know if you guys saw that, but their family donated the flowers and they came and planted them. And they got a sign put up there, and it's all like milkweed, stuff that attract monarch butterflies, and they registered it as a certified way station for the monarch butterflies.
Where is
So
that located again?
that's at Buffalo Street by where the artwork is and the splash pad. There's 3 beds there that they planted. So I thought that was really neat, and hopefully it's successful, and the sign's right there, so if kids are coming from the beach over to the splash pad, they can see the sign, see what it actually is, and maybe kind of get interested in that. So I thought it was a pretty cool deal. And other than a little bit of mowing and weed eating, I think that's about all we got.
Okay. Questions, comments?
The boardwalk looks nice.
Thank you. We're actively working on that, yeah.
They've had a ton of deliveries they've did too. I mean, when the school closes or at the end of the year, I mean, what, 50, 75 tables
Yeah, there
a
was-
day, and so we've held a lot of picnic tables the guys have, so they did a good job.
Okay, next up, recreation report.
Okay, so this month, we have been really busy. A lot of our programs, our numbers are up already. Library Stories, we've reached 260 children already. We have our last one of those this Thursday at Kelly Park from 11 to noon. We're expecting a big number for that. The summer concert series, number 1 through 3. So the first 3 concerts, our numbers are up for that too. We're right about 900 participants. Fishing Derby was down a little bit by 16 participants, but we also moved it this year just because of the construction over at the pavilion. So we're hoping to move that back next year over to Bixler Park. Those of you that weren't at the concert on Friday night, we had thousands attend that. Chris Lake sent me a quick email today saying that WRSW is announcing how much money was collected for Riley's Children's Hospital tomorrow morning live at 7:40 in the morning. I am going to be listening to that because that's very important, you know, to raise money for those kids here in our county. And we're very thankful for the radio station sponsorship and joining us at that concert. This week, we still have a busy week. We have community paddleboarding tomorrow at Pike Lake Beach, and that is free. Thursday, like I said, we have Library Stories at Kelly Park. We have summer concert series number 4 at Central Park Plaza. It's going to be blues music by the Out of Favor Boys at 7 o'clock. And then Saturday, we have an event out at Mantis Skate Park. It's called Go Skate and Scoot. It's an annual event that we put on out there. From 4 to 6 p.m., Papa John's is donating pizza for the kids, and Linda Chastain, our sponsor, is going to be giving away hundreds of dollars worth of things. And then coming up next week is Slip and Slide at Kelly Park from 4 to 6 p.m. This is our first year putting it in the evening so more families can participate. And then we're working on the Blues and Barbecue concert that's coming up on July 7th. So lots of things going on. I have a smaller staff this year, but we are weeks ahead in planning. So I'm very proud of all of their hard work. We're doing a good job, so that's all I
Are
have.
staff going to be out testing the slip and slide during the day?
We probably will. You know, Chris Holzclaw and myself went down it last year.
Let me know when you do that, we can take pictures.
Okay. We can do that. We also have Kona Ice coming, so we're going to try that this year, having their truck out there. And then the radio station thinks that they will be able to be out there this year and play some music for us. So we're hoping that that works out really well. So lots of things going on.
Questions, comments? Okay, thank you.
Fun community to live in.
Okay, other matters.
Recognition of congratulations to Ben Michael. He's our exceptional team member of the month. Ben had consistently performed his craftsmanship and knowledge of his trade to provide for our department and other city departments. His positive attitude and enthusiasm have fostered a collaborative and inspiring work environment. I would like to commend Ben for his outstanding contributions to our team and being a truly remarkable team member. As you can tell by his picture, he wasn't excited at all.
I was gonna say, couldn't you pick somebody?
We had to tone him down a little bit. I mean, he was really excited.
That's
so
cool, that's great.
That's good stuff. I mean,
Yes.
we actually had 10 members nominated again, so it's across the board, and Ben had the most nominations, so it's nice to see that a lot of the workers are recommending or nominating
Yeah.
a team member of different people. It's just not one person. They're recognizing a lot of them, and it's really neat to see when it works down there. So we're proud of
Good
it.
deal, that's great.
Yeah,
Anything else?
great.
That's all I've got.
Okay. Well, budget's done for another year. Things are looking good. I think park-wide, everything's going great. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. With that, need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second? Second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Thank you.
All right, thank you.